All right, here we are. Hi, Fer. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. We are doing this weekly thing. We started a little late, and we are doing it on a stream because we want to show a lot of things. On Spaces, I had the option to enable video. Have you done that?
I have never tried. I didn't even know
Yeah,
it
I
was
want to do a
something.
space with that option enabled and see how it goes. So let's wait a bit here until we get people joining us so we can then talk about some of the things we are working on and show people some cool things. And I'm really excited to talk to people today about some updates for the folks who.
Oh, wait, I lost your audio. Oh, I decided. Yeah, no, it's me because I decided to stream to my audience, and somehow that was a problem. But I may have to leave and come back. Give me a second.
All right, we're gonna
Oh
leave.
no, you're back. You're back. Sorry.
You back?
Yeah, like it must have.
Okay.
Yeah, it must have glitched because I was like, I have to stream to my audience so they know that we're here, and I connected to Twitter, and boom, all
Boom. Yeah,
stopped.
it's there now. Yeah, so people should be seeing the stream on your Twitter. That's great.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So a few things we want to talk about. We want to do an update on Studio
Mhm.
and show people the latest and the greatest on that, which actually is looking pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
Yes, I am too.
And we want to give an update on the Nifty Dreams Dreamer NFT passes. So that's another big item of discussion. And then we want to talk about to the creator community about our airdrop, which is active. That's we definitely want all the creators to join the airdrop. So let's talk about that a little bit also.
Yes.
But before we start, let's see what we got. We got like well, we have 65 people already. That's great. So let's give it another minute or so to get warmed up. By the way, if you can please, if you're on X, please retweet and let people know we are talking about some fairly important topics here today. And if there are people in the audience who we feel it's worthwhile to have them come up and speak, I'll send them a StreamYard invite, and they can also join us on this live stream. So for one of the changes I made, it's an important change. People told me that my artwork is too big and myself on the video is too small. So I brought the camera in closer now. So hopefully big
Yeah, you
good.
look powerful.
Yes, yes. So I look good. I look bigger now, so that's good. Okay, so I think we can start off with some a real high level update and talk about the airdrop. I won't show it yet. We'll come back to it. So we are working on increasing our user engagement, and for that we've launched a great, amazing, fun airdrop initiative. And today I'll be showing you at the end of our session here what that looks like. It's amazing, and it puts you in the running to earn to win some great tokens. So we are excited about that. But the spotlight, the main thing we want to focus on today is VTRU Studio. So, there's probably creators in the audience who know nothing about VTRU Studio. So, do you want to start by giving us a brief overview of VTRU Studio and why it exists?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So I always like to refer to something that people are used to, even though like we're doing everything like very, very differently, but they can relate to what we're doing. So if you think of when you're on Ethereum and you want to create your artwork and prepare to put on a marketplace, most artists are familiar with Manifold. Manifold is where you create your contract, you put your artwork, and then you list in whatever marketplace you want to do. So in Vitruvian, we're doing things very, very differently, which I think what is the biggest differential that I want to emphasize here is that when you consign, you don't mint the artwork, we'll get to that as well. When you consign the artwork to Vitruvio, it goes on your contract as an artist, automatically created for you, and it can be pulled to any marketplace on VTRU. So it's not like you have to list in a marketplace. It's going to be on your core contract, and it can be sent to everywhere, like any marketplace will pull the information for you. So Studio is basically where your journey begins as an artist on VTRU, and we'll walk you through in a few minutes.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I think one of the important things that I like to talk about when we mention Studio is it's important for artists to know that our mission is to help them make a recurring income, and we also want to free artists from having to market. We want artists to be creating stuff. So Studio is that tool, right? Like when you are not listing your stuff directly on a marketplace, as it is with Studio, your responsibility mentally also is very clear. You provide the artwork, you provide the metadata about the artwork, and then you are done. You do not have to be responsible for marketing your artwork. We're going to take that on. So that is a really important distinction for creators coming onto Vitruvio. And I know the journey has been long. It's been a few months since we first started talking about it, and I appreciate that people are, hanging on. But we are radically changing everything about the Web3 art model, and that requires a fair bit of work. Our team's been working very, very hard, and I'm very grateful to them, because we've changed things a few times, and they keep, they're very responsive to it. And I think with Studio in particular, we went through the UX a few times, because we want to create an absolutely simple and easy experience for folks. And I think I hear from some of the testers, etc. And when we talk about it or do a demo, I hear people talk a little bit about the time investment, right? And you're going to see that as you demo the software. We are asking creators to make an investment in time when they consign the artwork, when they list the artwork. And we are saying, by doing that, by taking the time up front, you don't have to waste hours and hours and hours and hours of your life on Spaces and Twitter, etc. Spend 15 to 30 minutes up front to do a great job consigning your artwork, and you're done. That's it. So let's look at a demo here and look at the newest features of VTRU Studio.
Yeah, let me make sure I have the right window open so I can share the right screen. So let me see here. Present, share screen, login. Yes. Okay, so here I'm going to start from 0 so everyone can have an idea of how this goes.
One second. We need to add it to the stage. So here we go. Now we are.
Okay, one thing I would like to say is that be aware the logo is changing. We had a placeholder for the logo, but we do have the final logo now, and it is being updated later today, I believe. So just so you know. So you enter your email, you will get a code. So you never have to remember a password, which I love this because I can never remember a password to save my life, and it makes it very safe. So what you do here, first thing you need to do is create your profile. The profile is super simple. You create your username. So this is a second username that I'm adding from the beginning, so it doesn't mess up with what I already have there. You connect your wallet. In my case, I use Coinbase, but you can select whatever wallet you use, and it's the same system as Ethereum. So it's the same wallet that you have as ETH. I had someone asking me what wallet if it was like the same for Solana and all of this. So it is the EVM, which is Ethereum-based wallet. So after you save your profile, I didn't change my picture, but you can do that anytime that you want. It's going to show the little icon there on the top right with your image. Then you get here to how you get started. First thing you need to do is add the file. So what is the artwork that you're going to have as your NFT? So I'm going to go with this one. It's a large image. It's almost 60 megabytes. So the first image that you're going to upload is what you would be considered your actual NFT. So that's the file that you want to show up like you would do anywhere else. But we have some extra files that are going to be supporting material for you for all the other features that we offer. So after you have your original artwork uploaded, you're going to add a variation that goes on display. So display basically is the same stuff that I have here behind me. It's a television 16:9 ratio. So if you don't have the artwork already cropped, what we do for you is that you have a tool to crop on site, and then you choose where do you want to crop it so it looks nice, because when it goes on a screen, it's going to be cropped, and we want to make sure that you choose how to crop the image to the way that you want. And you see I uploaded the very same file. You don't need to create the variations yourself. If you do, that's fine. And then you have the exhibition option, which is 2:3. It is a ratio that we use also on the screens, but this ratio is, it gives you a little space to have a tag. So it goes the title of the artwork, information about your artwork, QR code. So when we do exhibitions, it's perfect to have that extra area. So here, my image is on that ratio already, so there's no crop needed. It is already in the right format. And then we have preview. Preview image is something that a lot of people get a little confused. But basically, it's a square variation that we use for grids. So you go on a website and you have a grid that is all like square images. So we want you to make sure that you crop to the right area where you want to showcase your artwork in a square format. So those are all supporting materials, not something that is messing with the original file. It's all extra files for different use cases that we offer our artists. And here is one that is a little tricky. I know some people are not used to working with high resolution, but we have this one here, which is optional. And it's for anyone that wants to offer a print of their artwork. So here you have to upload a high resolution file. And if it doesn't match a high resolution that is high enough, that it's not going to pixelate your artwork, it's not going to allow you to upload. So this is the last one. You don't have to add this one, but this is the important files for your artwork. Do you want to add anything to this part, Nick?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out for the creators here that what we are doing is we are being very deliberate in our UI to guide you for special purpose uses of the image. Like ordinarily, we could have just done that first one original and be done with it, right? And we could have allowed the software to crop where it needs to, etc. But we are not happy with that. We are not satisfied with that. We want your artwork to look amazing everywhere. And software automatically cropping is not going to do a good job. We want you to be pixel perfect. Or when, for example, that second option, display, one of the big things about Vitruvio is we are creating a whole, almost an industry solution for streaming artwork at scale. It's like the Spotify of artworks, right? So the second option, display, is intended for that. We want curators to be able to bundle your artworks into these beautiful playlists that are then available for people to buy, to stream into their homes, into their offices, their hospitals, airports, whatever it is, So that's that. Exhibition is also important because, I started off by saying you curate, you consign your artwork, not curate. You consign your artwork and you're done. We're going to do marketing for you. guess what? We plan on having a lot of exhibitions, a lot of them, where your artwork is going to be showcased. And again, we don't want it to be cropped in a way which is not perfect. We want you to have it be perfect. So the exhibition is selection there is for that. Preview is very important because people are not going to experience your artwork by seeing the original the first time. They're going to see it in a gallery. Like, what I mean, a gallery is an online sort of gallery, a listing of artworks. They're going to see squares, right? Tiles. They might see it in a search listing. They might see it in a tweet. They might see it in TikTok. So many different things. And all of those places, we're going to use that preview image. So preview means preview my artwork everywhere. So you should crop it and make it look beautiful. So what you're seeing here is very special purpose ways to use your image. And for each one, we are saying software does not know the best. You know the best. And so that's why you can upload it. And it's perfectly fine if you have one artwork file, and you just upload it, 4 times and crop it. We've provided the crop tool, so it should be real easy for you to use. And that is how we capture your asset media.
Awesome. So after everything's uploaded, you click next and go to the next step. So this page is going to be saved, and you can start with the metadata. And I want to emphasize what Nick talked about, the importance of putting the time on the metadata, because that's how we're going to make your art discoverable. So you do have to understand the importance of this, and it's for your benefit. So this artwork is a birthday gift that I did for a friend. So I'm just going to give a random name. I'm not going to actually finish this as a piece. It's this is just for template, so for the sharing purpose. So I'm going to say on the title, birthday of Zay. And label, when we talk about a description of the artwork, this is a short description that goes in the on-chain. So it's meant to be very short. It's not going to be long. And it's the same description that's going to go on the on the exhibition. You have title and a brief description. That's where it goes. It's a label for a show. So it's supposed to be very short. And if you want to add a long description, we have a place for that, and that's going to show with your listing as well. We'll get to that later. So I'm just going to say happy birthday, Zay, because I don't want to add much information here. It's just meaning that that artwork is a birthday gift. So here, cultural, I'm going to put, do you want to add something, Nick?
No, I just muted myself.
Okay, so I'm going to say that this is Latin American because it is my background, and I am very Latina when it comes to colors. Mood, I'm going to say this, let's say, I'm going to say it's cosmic, definitely cosmic, dreamy, mystical, psychedelic. I think all those fit as a mood. Sensual. Yeah, I think those are enough for the mood. And then the colors, I'm going to say we're going to automate this, just so you know. It's not going to be always that you choose by yourself, but until we have that tool, you can choose like this. So you have 3 primary colors. They're going to allow people to search by color.
Because you're sharing your window, we don't see the pop-up. So
okay.
People are probably wondering how you're changing the colors, but that's okay.
Okay, it doesn't show. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I'll see. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and copyright. Let's say I'll just go with 2024 Cercadiano. This is going to be automated if you don't put anything. We're just going to add standard copyright text for you. It is a vertical image. That's going to be helpful on search if you want to search artwork in a certain, orientation for your screen. That's a way to do it. So that's part of the, let's see, we finished the context. And it shows here complete, all the check marks that I finished all those informations. Now, we get on object type. Nick, do you want to talk about like what is the difference between context, taxonomy,
Yep.
and all of those?
Yeah, but before I do that, if you can scroll up a little bit, I just want to point out that Fur has some browser extension, and that's what that green and the red thing is. That it's got nothing to do with Studio. The 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 little icons that are showing up
Oh,
there,
yes.
yeah,
It's
that's some browser extension you have. It's
yes.
unrelated to Studio. You may want to turn that off for the demo. Um,
Don't even
all
know
right.
that off, but
So
yeah.
so I want to talk a little bit briefly about the metadata first, and then we go into the specifics of it. So look here, folks. Right now, we live in a world where when you list your artwork, you provide a title, description, and maybe some keywords or something like that. And we are transforming that world. We are allowing you to actually realize what you thought was true. When you put your artwork on Vitruvio, you are actually putting it on the blockchain with the metadata. The media file, we store a link to it, but the metadata actually goes onto the blockchain. And why is that important? Well, that's important because now your artwork is searchable, it's discoverable. If you go to OpenSea, if you go to Foundation, etc., and you put in keywords, I've done this hundreds of times. The search results are always wrong. They are not what
Very
you're
cool.
looking for.
It doesn't
We're,
show
we,
anything.
we're fixing that because look, when it comes to selling your artwork, and a large number of you are in Web3 because you've found that you can actually make money, right? When it comes to selling your artwork, the first step is your artwork discoverable? Well, I'm sorry to say that most of the artworks that exist in Web3 today are not discoverable. This is why you have to constantly keep promoting it on X, on Instagram, on wherever, right? But if you invest the time on putting the metadata correctly, all our marketing promotions that we do, we are able to find your artwork and we are able to promote it, making it discoverable to large audiences, right? So this one screen here, asset metadata, this is going to be the most important screen for you to do properly, to take the time and do it well, because this is going to be the difference between lots of sales and no sales. This is really it. Like, we can market your work as much as possible, but if people have been conditioned, as they will be with Vitruvio tools, to search and get the best results, and if you haven't provided the right information about your artwork won't show up in those results, and so you will still be invisible. We don't want that. We want you to be discoverable. Like when Fur put in the context for the mood, she checked things like central, etc. So what we are going to do is give customers who are, for example, subscribing to a stream, say that, what is the kind of artwork you want to see? Well, I want to see central artworks that have a red color theme, that are made by artists, I don't know, in the US or South America or whatever. And I want them to be portrait because that's my device. Do you see the granularity of which people can specify their search criteria? That is going to be used to filter all the images in Ethereum, in Tezos, in Solana. All the artworks right now are in what we call silos by marketplace. So Foundation has, OpenSea has, Object has it. On Vitruvio, all your artworks are on the blockchain, all of them, right? A marketplace can choose which ones it wants to list, but we have no silos. And so with the metadata, it's possible for anyone who wants to sell your artwork, whether it's a marketplace, whether it's a curator, whether it's a streaming service, all of it, they're going to rely on the metadata. Right? It's important to get this right. So context, to answer your question, for context is to help place your artwork within a sphere of images. Like there's a large collection of images and artworks, right? So what is the a simple way to filter your artwork based on criteria that humans use: mood, color, tags, the culture, etc. Right? So I'm sorry, I said tags, but that's not
I
correct.
think it's not- yeah.
But really simple human things: mood, culture, color, etc. Right? That's what context is. Taxonomy, when you get to that, that's the more objective things about it. Like, what exactly is the way in which your artwork can be classified? So please continue, Fur.
Okay. So here, the first thing that you have to check is what is the type of your asset. Because we're using linked art standards, we want it to be as close possible to what is done in the traditional industry. And that is something that I find super important, because right now I absolutely hate how people say, like, this is just a JPEG. It's not a freaking just JPEG. Like, you have music is MP3s, and then you have video is MP4. So you already buy music and movies in the digital format. Why should art be just a JPEG? And we realize that it's considered just a JPEG because it doesn't follow industry standards. So here we have the industry standards, which actually elevate your artwork into a level that is comparable to museum quality. So for that matter, we're using some things that are used to classify your artwork, and object type is one of it. So what is the kind of art that you're classifying here? So this one, in my case, I created it digitally. But you could be creating an asset that is based on a physical piece that you photographed and then you bring to the internet. And then you have a hybrid option. Sometimes, like, I know a lot of painters that do this. You paint physically, and then you digitalize the artwork and you create an animation on top, or like, you paint on top of that physical piece. So that would be a hybrid artwork. So this is a reference of what is your actual artwork origin. Then after that, you have tags. And in this case, I'm going to say she's a dancer. I'm going to add that because I think it's a cool tag for it. I'm going to say like cosmic, because I think that the sky is cosmic. And I'll say fire because I think that it's like, it has that fire feel to it. So these are tags that are going to help people find your work. You can put whatever you think that is a word that people would search for. So just for an example, I had a piece that I did on night photography, and it got featured because I actually put the tag in there and people found my tag. And that was an object. It's the only thing that they have to classify your artwork is using tags. So that for that little bit, it already works. And imagine what you can do with all these extra parts of information here. So collection is something that I've heard some people, they get a little confused. Like, why do I have to name a collection? Imagine on your computer, you have folders that you put your files in. They're not just, like spread all over the place, which, like I know some people do that. You have files in your desktop and they never get anywhere. But the idea is that you have a collection that is going to be able to identify something separate from another collection. So let's say I'm painting landscapes. So I'm going to have a collection of landscapes, but then I want to be more specific and I want to have a collection of beach scenes. So some people may be searching for something in that direction, and the collection is going to be able to have you organize how your artwork is going to show in your page, separated by collections. Right now, when you mint an artwork in another blockchain, you're going to have the option to create one collection. So everything that you do is going to be stuck with that one collection. Here, we're giving you the option to create several collections. So your artwork can be placed in different collections for more discoverability. So here, I'm going to put nude art because that's the main topic in there. And I'm going to say, I'm going to add another collection that's going to be dancer. So completely different approaches to my art, but I'm going to have several pieces that are going to fit differently in those different collections. This way people can find through both of those names. Here, AI generation. So we want people to be very clear. We don't have anything against AI, but what we don't want is that people lie about it. So here, if you have an image that was created by AI, you have the options to say, was it fully AI generated? Was it partially AI generated, or not used AI at all? So my case, this one, I started with a photo and then I paint based on that photo, so it has no AI at all. Some of my artwork, I create an image with AI and then I paint based on that image. So I do use AI, but not on this case. And then we have augmented reality. This is something that is really cool. Maybe Nick, you want to say about that a little bit, because I think it's a very nice feature.
Sure. Yeah. So we want every artist, every creator who submits and consigns an artwork through Vitruvio to have the ability to have people have an augmented reality experience with their artwork. So by default, your artwork is augmented reality enabled. The question is, do you provide the content that shows up when someone scans it with an augmented reality viewer or not? So here you can say that, yeah, I don't want that. And you can disable that. But by default, it is enabled. And as Fer will show you later in the process, you can upload augmented reality content for your artwork, so that if someone is viewing your artwork with a viewer, they will see that. I'll give you a couple of examples where it's really cool to have that. And actually, nude art is one of them. So in a lot of scenarios, the preview images, etc., of nude art, you want to people blur them or things like that, because then they are allowed on X and other platforms without the warning that this contains nudity, right? But if you augmented reality enable your app, you could have one image that does not have nudity, and when the viewer views it with their phone, with the augmented reality viewer, that's when the nude image appears. So that's one example of it. You could have a static image be the artwork, but when you view it, there is an animated 3D image that appears or a video that appears. So those are all things that are available right away. Now, we will educate artists on how to make the best use of this in time, but right now we're just getting started with Studio, so we'll focus on showing you how to add to Studio. But by default, everything is augmented reality enabled.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm going to say that this one is not AR enabled, even though I could probably use a behind the scenes video as the augmented reality. So that could be an option. But since I didn't prepare that one, I'm going to skip for this specific artwork. Yes, this artwork contains nudity. And this is something I wanted to talk about quickly, just because I am part of the nude community. There's a huge community of nude artists in NFTs, and people complain a lot about not being able to express themselves freely. But I also happen to be a mother. And in that sense, I do understand the reason for not being able to show nudity in some places. There are some countries that don't allow you to show nude art. So the fact that you have the option to say, okay, this contains nudity and this doesn't, will allow the people who are browsing to actually look for it, or not specifically, not allow it to be in the screen. My son, I'm very open about nudity. I have a large nude collection. And my son said the other day that we had a friend coming over and he was like, Mom, can you please change the playlist? Because I had a nude playlist playing in one of my screens. So I was like, okay. So we have to remember that because we appreciate it, not necessarily everyone does. And it goes again with the whole concept of AI. Some people are really averse to AI. So you have to be honest and just, explain, okay, my art contains nudity. Okay, and then category. This is kind of like the branch where everything else comes under. And it's a very important way to classify your art for search engines specifically. So here I have it a painting. Even though it's done digitally, it's also considered a painting. You have very few options here, but it's a few options for a reason. We're meaning here to contain the most important categories of art. And then, as we grow, as we include music and all of this, we're going to have, more things. But right now, those are the main categories that we have, and it's going to make it easier for people to find your work. Then medium. That goes with the technique or whatever you use to create your art. In my case, it was pretty much digital painting, so I'm just going to go with that. It's digital, and I'm going to see if I find photography here as well, because it was based on a photo. My friend sent me her photo, and then I painted based on her photo. So I'm going to add this as well, because I used photo for creating this artwork. And then style, some people know style as the school of art. So it's just another way for people to find your artwork. Some people are very much into a few different styles. So there are people that love cubism, for instance, so they will search for those specifically. In my case, it's figurative art, and it goes towards expressionism for the use of color. So I'm going to go with that as another option. Yep, those are the ones that fit. And subject, I'll say female and women. Women. So I think those are the main subjects in my artwork. So this will help people find my art based on how I described that it is. Now we get to creators, and maybe we should talk a little bit about this, Nick, because I want people to be aware that that's how we have it placed right now, but creators is something that is going to come to the side. So maybe you want to explain that a little before I dive into it?
Sure. Yeah. So right now, because we are sort of just starting out the software, we are going to have you provide information. But very soon, we are going to launch a service called True ID. So True ID is intended to be one single login and wallet system for all applications within Vitruvio. And so when it comes to your artwork and your creator information, we'll get it from your True ID. And you can always override it. You can change it, but you don't have to type it in every time. What this will change into over time is getting your information and putting the splits in there. If there are multiple creators, what is the split? Who gets, like, maybe it's 3 people and they each get 33% or whatever it might be. So right now, what you're seeing is a temporary thing. It will change in the next in not the next release, but a subsequent release.
Cool. Okay, so right now you enter your creator, your artist information here. So we refer to artists as creators because we want people to understand that it's all creator fields. So you can be an artist is all the creator fields as well, but people usually associate with painters. So we have creators, so everyone that is here is considered a creator. First, you add your name, which is your artist name. One thing I want to have everyone pay attention is that this information is public. This is metadata information. That's how people are going to find your information. So if you have a problem with sharing your name, make sure, like your country of origin, all of this, you don't have to add those informations, but be aware that if you're comfortable on doing so, there are people that are actually searching for specific people from a certain country. So I've seen open calls for Latin American people. I've seen people looking for Asian art. So when you're able to provide your location, it actually helps on sales. So we understand if you're not able to share, but at least the creator name, it has to be your artist name, whether it's your real name or a pseudonym that you use for art. Then here on creator roles, I'm going to say artist, because I refer to myself as an artist. I could have added painter, I could have added photographer, could have been, like if you're a movie maker, you could have been the script writer, you could have been a lot of different roles. So that's why you have the roles here, where you can associate what you actually did in that specific artwork. So for me, in this case, it's only artist. And then bio, fair is awesome. That's all I'm going to write here. I'm going to put a very short bio that talks a lot
You are
about
awesome. You are awesome.
So here on the profile link, I had some people asking me like, what do I add there? And I said, well, we don't have yet your profile as a public page on VTRU. We are going to get to that after we create True ID, after we have the store and all of this. But right now, you can put anything that relates to your portfolio. So some people ask about putting the link tree. It's fine. If you want to add your Instagram account or if you have a website. In my case, I have a website. So I'm going to put fecadiano.xyz. Do we need to add the HTTP on this one or not?
Yes, it needs to be a link. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go with this. And then nationality. I am Brazilian. So I'm going to add this here. I live in the United States. So I put that here. Ethnicity. It has Brazilian here. And gender, we went with a list that is out of an official website that talks about different genders. So in my case, it's very simple. I am a woman, but we want to be inclusive to everyone that might refer to themselves differently. So here, the creator part is done. You see it's completed. And then we get to provenance. Do you want to add anything to it before I get to provenance?
No, I think you've covered it completely. I just want to re-emphasize that it is creators is a temporary field, and we will auto-populate it from your True ID in the future.
Yes, and when you have a collab, you're going to be able to pull the information from other people's accounts as well. Like when you mint a collab on Foundation right now, like I have a few, then you say, okay, this is the other account. You search, is going to show their profile, and then you can set the split. So that is all going to be available later. So now we get to provenance. This is specifically interesting for photographers. So let's say you went traveling in the middle of nowhere and you took a photo in the desert of, I don't know, somewhere. So you want to add the location of the artwork. So remember, the provenance is related to this specific artwork. So here I painted at home. So I live in the States. I painted here. Now we have PlusCode, which is a very interesting tool. I'm not going to enter this, but we can demo about PlusCode after. But maybe you want to just talk about this because it's a cool tool.
Yeah, sure. PlusCode is something that you will find in Google Maps and other mapping systems right now. It's a very simple way to replace a longitude and latitude, which are just all impossible to remember or communicate easily because they're these long numbers, right? So PlusCode divides up the entire Earth into these squares. And every square has a unique a label associated with it. And so if you are taking pictures in what you would consider like the civilized world, where they have addresses and things like that, you don't need a PlusCode. You can just put the actual street name or whatever. But if you are doing it in rural, where in the mountains or the jungle or something like that, which does not have this, you can put a PlusCode, just like Fur did. I have no idea what that PlusCode is, but if you take that and you put it into Google Maps, it will show you the exact location that she is. And this is also a security device because what it does is allow you to specify a general location without providing exact street address or something. So you can specify the granularity. You can say this is it starts at about 2 meters and it keeps going, for thousands of kilometers. So you can say that, okay, I want to provide a 50-kilometer radius of where this photo was taken or where I drew this, and you can provide that PlusCode.
Yeah, so it's very cool. I love that feature. And yeah, I added random, kind of the general area where I painted this piece.
Yep.
So next one is blockchain. We have it already pre-selected because you're putting your artwork on VTRU. And now these two are very, very cool features that I wanted to talk about a little bit. So when we do our artwork, very often we get invited to a show, like this one specifically hasn't been exhibited anywhere, but I have some artworks that have gone to shows in Brazil, to shows in Europe, and like displayed in Times Square. So that is a very cool part of information that you want to have related to your artwork. So here's where you can add your, the exhibition name. If I was typing about one of my pieces that went to Times Square, I would say like exhibition name, Times Square feature. It could be that. So you can put it in there, and in that case, I wouldn't have the URL of the show. But if it was an exhibition, for instance, like we had a show at Casa Nua in Brazil. So I would put the name of that exhibition and the website of the gallery, that sometimes, you even have like a write-up that was done about that show. So you can add that information in there as well. So that's exhibitions. And then you have awards. So awards, a lot of people receive awards for a specific artwork, and that's the place that you can end that. So in this case, I don't have any of those for this piece, so I'm just going to click next. And this means my metadata is all finished. Something that we want to emphasize, which I think is really, really cool as well, is that even though all this information is on chain, something that I actually understood only very recently is that it doesn't mean that you have an NFT and your information is on chain. It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. So your information, the data can be on chain, but the NFT is a token that is created when when it's needed. So you don't have to have that token of your NFT created for your information to be on chain. So in this case, you're creating all that information is going to be recorded for your listing. And you can go back and edit some of this. For instance, the exhibitions, you might get an exhibition happening later. So in time, you can go back and edit. And even though it's recorded on chain, it's recorded in a certain block. And in time, you can do a new version. So it's the next block. It's still on chain, but it has a version that is newer and updated related to what has happened to that artwork. So that's it for the metadata. It's not really that complicated. You should know all of those informations from the top of your head. So I've heard some people telling me that they took 6 hours to fill out, and it was like a couple of people actually. I was surprised, but I understand that most of this is because they don't know yet what they're doing. So the minute that you understand, everything should flow. So it may take you a little bit longer when you're going through this for the very first time, but every time that you do it next, it's going to be a piece of cake. And here we get.
I think I'd like to just add that our standard sort of for it is 15 to 30 minutes. That's basically what you should be investing in the metadata. And remember, it is an investment. You are investing in yourself. You're not doing this for someone else. You're doing this for yourself, because if you do the metadata entry correctly, your artwork is discoverable, and hence you can get sales. So you don't do it, that's fine. No one will see you. No one will see your artwork, but the nice thing is that it is editable. So if you find that, okay, you didn't do it, you can come back and add it properly. We do make a lot of the fields required because high quality is important for us. So we are trying to change a lot of perceptions there are about Web3 art, etc. And right now, the general perception, as you see it from media and people who have been in the art domain for a long time, is that this is like just fun stuff. It's just toy. It's not serious art. Well, we're not going to change that thinking by continuing more of the same. We have to move to standards. We have to have higher quality, and that's what we aim to do. And by the way, I just want to look at just a huge milestone for us. We just hit 500 viewers. I got to take a screenshot of this.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's amazing. So, all right, please, let's continue with the licenses.
Nice. Okay, so now that you have all your information with your artwork, now you choose the license. And this is the one that you're familiar with. It's your NFT-ART. So you click on this one and you're going to choose what kind of license you want. So for this specific artwork, we're doing the Genesis drop. I'm going to go with single edition of $150. That's what I'm going to choose, but we're going to walk you through the other two options just so you know that they're here. Elastic editions is a concept that I really, really like. So I like to think that everyone has a price for their artwork, and it shouldn't matter if it's minted as editions or if someone buys as a one-of-one. And I see a lot of people struggling with this. I even gave a class on pricing your artwork, and people have no idea that they should. A lot of people, I mean, like not everyone, but a lot of people have no idea that they should have. There's a formula that you know what the costs were for you to create that artwork, the cost of your time, and your value. So there is a number to it. It shouldn't be different if that number is on editions or on one-of-one. So this one is a very cool option because you don't have to choose if your artwork is going to be sold as editions or one-of-one. You leave that option to the buyer. So right here, I'm going to say I want the edition price to be, let's say, 50 US dollars. And then the number of editions, let's see if this is a good number. Okay, that makes the artwork $1,000. So that makes sense. I would say maybe 25. So see, my edition is now $50, 25 editions. That sums up to $1,250, which means that that's the price that is my time and my costs. So if I was to sell this as one edition, that would be the total value of it. And I can offer a discount if you want to, like help people with the concept of buying more than one edition, or, like if you want the, to offer after the first edition, you get a price that gets a discount. You can do that. So it's a marketing tool. You don't have to tick that box, but you can if you want to add to it. Now, a cool feature about this is if someone buys one edition and then the other person comes next and they say, okay, I don't want this to be edition of 25, so I'm going to buy multiple editions and make this a smaller set. So Nick has done this before, and I've seen him do this. It's not every collector that likes to do this because the first person got a great deal, and then the second person is not going to get a deal that is that good, but you want to create a scarcity and you want to support the artist. So you can go and buy several editions and combine them as one edition. So you could have one sale of 50 and another collector that comes and buys the rest of the pile, and it makes an edition of 2 only. So
yeah, 24 for $1,200.
Yes.
That becomes 1 for $1,200, basically.
Yeah. So I think it's a very cool option. Anyway, like if you want to be flexible and allow people to choose, then like if someone buys as all of them as edition of 1, then like if the edition part is done and sold as a one-of-one. But you can give this option. So I like this very well. And here, unlimited editions, something that I think people are not very used to in the NFT space is talking about unlimited editions. People do open editions, which is usually like unlimited, but they put a time frame and they stop the minting there. But when you look at the traditional industry, people are very, very much used to unlimited editions. So if you're a photographer, you know this very well. You would have one picture and you would make prints out of this and you'd sell prints. So you make a limited edition, which is the option that we have on Elastic Editions. So you'd have a limited edition set, you sign those prints, and that's it. You never sell that print ever again. But you can make it a super affordable, unlimited edition. Then anyone can buy it as, like it can be bought by the whole world, and it can be like a cheap edition. So it is something that you can consider. So let's say if I wanted to have like a limited edition, I would say my price would be $10 and it will sell for as long as it goes. But in this case, I want to have single edition because it's a Genesis piece. And then I'm going to choose the license. So here, to make your life easier for those who are not familiar with the CC standards, we have the information here on the side. So you can check what license goes better with what you intend for that NFT. So here's something that most artists don't understand, and a lot of collectors don't understand either, is that when you buy an NFT, you're not buying the copyright of that image. You buy the rights to use that image to certain cases. So you own that image, but it doesn't mean that you can have it for commercial use. You're not supposed to, do advertising with it, unless specified by the artist. So here we're using the CC model, which is the Creative Commons, and it is a licensing model here in the States. But basically, we're letting you choose and tell the collector what you want him to do with the license. It's not a legal contract, but it is a way to protect yourself and say, okay, like, that you're allowed to use this NFT with this license. You're not supposed to use it in any other way. So I think CC BY is the most common. So people, now this one's to distribute, you have to just give the information about the artist. So I would say, what is the most standard? I don't even know. But one thing that you have to remember, the CCO is a very, very known license that is used for memes, especially because you want people to actually use your image. So you give free rights. So CCO, you only choose that if you want anyone to use your image however they want. And there are some people that are very much into that, that mindset. So it is an option. It's completely up to you, but you choose what you want to do with that image. I'm going to have CC BY as my license of choice. And then we have the extra stuff, which is where the fun begins. So artists are not usually aware that they can make money out of that artwork, not one time, but several times. So that's where we bring the streaming option for you. Again, the person that buys your NFT is going to be the owner of that NFT, but not the holder of the copyright. So you still have copyright use of your NFT, and that's when you can give those licenses for extra revenue of income. So stream art, since we're still working on deals, we don't have numbers to give you. You don't have the choice to give the price, because we are going to sell this as bundle offers. And it's just, like, you tick that box, and whenever we sell a stream that has your artwork, you get paid. So why not? Instead of people looking at your art for free, you get paid like, music on Spotify. Then you have print art. So if you did put the file that is good for print, then you might want to activate this license. So let's say right now it's only one license. We're going to elaborate on these and have different models for prints. But right now, if someone wants to do one print, however they want, if they want to print on a canvas, if they want to print on a t-shirt, they buy that one license for the one use case. So this will be specifically interesting when we get to licensing to corporations. So let's say someone decides that they want your image in a collection for, shower curtains. So they're going to buy the license to print 100 of that to sell to a certain shop. So that's where that license will be interesting. And right now, it's this one, and you don't know exactly how the person is going to use, but we will develop as we find partners for specific use cases. So I would say just keep like a random, affordable number, because you don't know what they're going to use it for yet. And then remix. Remix, a very interesting one. Do you want to talk about this one, Nick? Because it has to do with Lens Post and
Sure.
more about it.
Yeah. So we have entered into a partnership with Lens Post, and they have a great dApp. It's like Canva for Web3. And so when you enable this, your artwork appears in Lens Post, so people can use it maybe as a background or an enhancement to an image. They can remix it, and when they remix it and use it, you get paid for that remix. So you can put in whatever price you want, but generally people are not going to pay thousands of dollars for a meme, right? They're creating a silly meme for something. So you can put like a couple bucks there or $5 or something like that, and your artwork can be used there. Now, some people will say that, well, that my artwork is serious business. I don't want to do that. And that's why you have a checkbox. Don't do that if you don't want your artwork to be, to not be used, to be used in like as a backdrop to a meme or something like that. If you don't want that, then don't use it. But these are really the first set of licenses. We're going to have many more custom licenses. But one thing that's really important for you to understand is that consignment puts your art on the blockchain, on Vitruvio. It is searchable, it is discoverable, and here's the most important word: it is licensable, right? So you can put your artwork on the blockchain and enable none of these licenses, and it's fine. Your artwork is on the blockchain. You just wanted it on the blockchain. It is discoverable, but no one can interact with it commercially. Like no one can buy it. It'll show up in search results and things like that. So I hope you see the distinction between the NFT world today and this model. In the world today, you go to a marketplace, you mint an NFT, you put it on there, and someone can go buy it. If it doesn't sell for a long time, you burn that NFT. That is the old way. We threw that out the window because it was inefficient and a terrible thing for artists. So with consignment, your artwork is consigned to the blockchain. It's always there. You can mark it as active or inactive as you feel. But it is only minted as an NFT if you specify an NFT license, the first one in this list, and other licenses. And we will keep creating more licenses. We'll have more partnerships and things like that. Remember, we are marketing your artwork. We are going to focus on making you money. You create awesome artwork. That's it. That's the discussion. That is it, right? So when you do this, when you create an NFT license here, what happens if someone sees your artwork and says, look, I don't want to just look at it, or I don't want to just print it. I want to own it, per those license terms. Then they hit buy, and then, and only then, do we mint an NFT and we drop it into the user's, the buyer's wallet. But there are no NFTs here until someone actually consumes an NFT license by paying money for it. Your artwork is always on the blockchain. That costs you nothing, and it's there for forever. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on a bit of a sore point for some people, because I have come across some collectors that are very, very exclusive. So they want their artwork to be only the NFT, and there is like some people that even pay to see to have a video of the artist burning the piece if it comes from a physical piece. So there are some people that like exclusivity. So if it is the case of your collector base, like you can only check the NFT license and do not do the other ones. It's absolutely fine. It's a choice that you have, that your collectors. But I would say for the average artist and average like market, you should be fine on having the extra avenue of money making. But if you're a very high price artist, maybe it makes sense for you to not have those extra licenses, because you sell the one NFT and you're happy with this, and that is the number that you have in mind, and you're happy. Something that I wanted to say from a personal experience, because I do come from the traditional industry and I used to sell prints as well. I had a buyer that bought my most famous piece that sold tons of prints, and she paid $12,000 for the original oil, and she was happy with it. She didn't care that I sold prints. I sold mugs. I sold everything with that image. And if you think about the Mona Lisa is public domain. People can use it for advertising. They can use it for anything, but the original is the original, and there's no other artwork more valuable in the world. So I think, like the fact that you sell prints of an artwork doesn't make it less valuable. But I understand that some people see that way. So you have to understand that as a choice when you're selecting your licenses.
Yeah. Let's pause for a second and take a question I see here that's relevant to this. So Gus has a question. There it is. We put it up there. It says, Nick and Fer, so the exclusivity of the art is up to the artist and can be changed whenever. Does the buyer have a say, since they may be buying as a limited? So do you mind if I field this one, Fer?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So please go up to the edition, the NFT and the Elastic edition. Yeah. So, okay. So what we're talking here is two parts. First of all, the artist cannot change anything about the metadata and the licensing whenever they feel like. There are some things they can change, but not all of them. So for example, when it comes to a license, you can improve the license for the betterment of the buyer. So in other words, if you decide to come here and say, okay, I want fewer editions, you can do that. But you can't make more editions because that would be detrimental to the buyer. And the buyers ultimately decide on the number of editions, but that is within the maximum limit set by the artist. So to answer your question, Gus, it is impossible for the buyer's sort of expectations around editions to be to be to they won't be disappointed. They can only be made happier because the artist made the editions less but not more. So that's that. All right, please continue.
Okay, so here after you decide on your licenses, you click next, and then you agree to the terms of use. I think we covered that on another stream. I don't think we need to go through all of this again, but it's important to let people know that they do need to check those boxes, because here they're going to say that, like, basically they own that art, and they're being truthful on the information. So that is.
For 1 second, on the creator agreement, I do want to highlight one thing. For there's a
Mhm.
lot of new people in the audience here. We have crafted a custom creator agreement that is extremely creator friendly. We are the blockchain for creators. In other words, we are your blockchain. We are not a business trying to profit off you. In fact, that is the opposite of our goal. We are trying to help you make money, right? So this creator agreement basically says you own everything. All we are asking for is the right to be able to market your work. So that's what we just need: permission from you to be able to market your artwork. That's basically all it says. Now keep in mind that on Vitruvio, everything related to pricing, etc., is the artist value is the one that we use. So for example, if in your NFT license you said you wanted $1,000, you get that. But that doesn't mean the buyer pays that. The buyer is going to pay more. They're going to pay 2% more for the blockchain. That's our basically the protocol fee. And in addition, whoever is marketing your work has a right to mark it up. Now, the interesting thing is that if they mark it up beyond a threshold of 10%, whatever extra markup, you get a royalty percentage of that also. So people cannot do crazy markups on your art and you get nothing out of it. So as I said, this is an extremely creator friendly agreement, and we've thought about every possible angle where people try and I'll use that term, screw you over. We are not going to permit that on this platform. It is a creator friendly platform, and really there can be a win-win for everybody, right? By being fair. Fairness is the operating word here, and we've created terms of use and licensing models and royalty models where it is all fair and fair. Yeah. So when your artwork is sold on secondary, etc., that royalty percentage, etc., is stipulated. We don't have that visible in the UI right now in Genesis, but we'll make that visible. So there's a bunch of things that we want to show you, but we needed to walk before we can run. So it's not, everything is not visible here, but our goal, our intent here is to make the most creator friendly platform, especially from a monetary perspective.
Great. Okay, so
wait, there's a question here from Eris. Let's answer that also.
okay.
When it comes to price, what's the most popularity edition can an artist can do? Examples 20, 25, 50. What do you think is a good edition size is what Eris is getting at.
And Aris, I actually gave a full 1 hour workshop on pricing. It is an answer that is very, very hard to give, like completely like a general, like call like this. But I would say that you have to consider your costs there as an artist. And something that I try to make artists understand is that very often artists pay to work. They don't understand that they have so many costs, and they go like, oh, I'm randomly going to say that I charge this. But you have to understand your costs. You have to understand the value of your time before you even consider pricing. After you understand the value of your artwork, then you have to compare to market. So is it doable to sell at my price in this market and conditions? You know, you really, really have so much to consider when pricing your artwork. But I promise to do another workshop on pricing, and probably one on a stream like this, and maybe a Zoom call that we can get a few artists together, and I can be more dynamic on answering questions. But I'll share the spreadsheet again, because I think that that's very important. Then, of course, you have the perception of the collector, how much the collector is willing to pay. And that always depends on the artist's reputation. An artist that is super, like famous, they have artwork that becomes very, very valuable. Like I paid, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I paid for an edition of 5 ETH. And it's absurd, but it's an artist that that one I intend to flip. So it is one of those things. But generally speaking, you don't want to be expensive on your editions if you're an upcoming artist. You want to make sure you get market before you're able to, charge higher. So anyway, after you finish the terms of use, you click accept contract. And see, like I had to scroll to the end so I could accept, and then click next. Oops, sorry, back. Here. Then you have auxiliary media, which is the image for the AR, the augmented reality that we talked about. So it can be either an image or a video. You have behind the scenes. I'm going to upload a video that is not for this one, but just for the, just to show you how it goes. But you upload a video. In my case, I use a work in progress. If you do Procreate, you can export that as a file. And it is something that I find super interesting when it comes to sales. As a collector myself, I love knowing the process of the creation. So some artists, they put the work out there and you have no information about it. You don't know how they created. You have nothing on the piece, and it's very hard to connect with that art. So besides having information in writing, I appreciate to see the process. So behind the scenes are very, very cool. It's an amazing sales tool for that reason. So I highly encourage you guys to make sure that you create either a behind the scenes video or have an image of a work in progress or something that shows, like a little bit of behind the scenes, so the collector can connect better with you. We have the intention of putting that information with the listing. So when the person is looking for the artwork, they can also check on on a button, or flip like a carousel. We're not sure yet how we're going to present it, but the information is going to be there for people to look at when they see your artwork. So that's the auxiliary media, and we added here upon request a longer description. So the reason that it has been moved to this page is because a long description is not going to be something that we can put on chain. So the metadata where you input all that information, that is on chain, and it has to be concise. It has to be like bits of information that we can refer to in the blockchain. It's not going to take too much data. But if you want a long description, like I see a lot of artists that they fully describe how that artwork was created. They talk about the story behind it. Some people have poems. I've seen a lot of people that do collabs, and it's a poem plus an artwork. So you have the poem as the description. You may, have any reason to write a long description. So that's where you put it. And that description is going to show up with your listing. So that's where you add it. After that, you click next, and all this.
Sure. Can I just talk about CodeZip for a moment?
Yes.
On there, yeah. So CodeZip is for those of you who are developers and who want to do things in the domain of interactive, dynamic, reactionary art, etc. So we have provided the mechanism here for you to do that. And in the coming months, we'll provide examples of how you can create art that responds to external stimuli, right? the time of the day or the weather or the stock market or the price of Bitcoin or anything you want, emotions. Like it can do a sentiment analysis on X or TikTok or whatever, and based upon that, your art can react and be different. So that's one area. But we also want to create, for example, the concept of sets, where you have multiple artworks in a set, and as each one is purchased, all of them change until when, like, maybe there's 10, and when all 10 are purchased, all of them unlock a certain feature or things like that. So CodeZip is where you can upload the code, where you can collaborate. My vision is to have more creators collaborate with more developers, and we're going to facilitate that in order to create the next generation of innovative artworks that really take advantage of all the technology that we have available to us on our computers, on display screens, and things like that.
Cool. Yeah, like I have so many ideas for this type of artwork. I really need to find a developer that would take my my ideas. Okay, so now you have all the steps completed. This one, it's optional. So if I don't have anything in here, which in my case, I didn't mean to have it anyway, you can still consign. So here you click consign. And right now, that's where we stop. You have the draft of your piece ready. And we're about to finish working on the artist contract. And then we're going to airdrop the credits. So maybe you want to talk about the credits here, Nick, because I think people are, I got a lot of questions on this. So I think it's important to mention what the credits are and how, we're moving to the next step with them.
Yep. So we have a credit system, and there are two types of credits. There are collector credits and there are creator credits. So collector credits are essentially $10 credits that are available to for us to distribute to people, and we can distribute them as just a $10 unit, or we can distribute 10 of them to one person. They get $100. So we have approximately 10,000 people who purchase boosters. These are special NFTs for investors, and each of them is eligible to get 15 of these collector credits. So that's 15 multiplied by 10, so $150 worth of credits. The idea here is that all booster owners are going to become the first collectors on the VTRU platform. So we have approximately $1.5 million in credits there. And so as the artists come on board and they consign their artworks, and maybe some of them will issue an NFT license, the booster owners are waiting with their credits. They're going to be airdropped this week to them, so they'll get those. So those are collector credits. Now we come to creator credits. So we want to, and I'm going to emphasize this again and again, create an open platform, but one that is high quality. And so we didn't want to create any kind of approval system where your artwork goes there and someone approves it, etc., because we think that's wrong. That's the opposite of open. But we did want to put a little sort of break on people who, and especially scammers and people like that who just steal artwork, etc. So the idea we came up with is the concept of a collector credit. A collector credit is an NFT that you can have in your account, which is needed in order to activate your artwork. So you can consign it like this, and you can go through, see it's in draft mode right now. But in order to make it active on the VTRU network and make it accessible to all marketplaces, all streaming solutions, etc., you need a creator credit. Now, we talked about True ID earlier. In True ID, there is going to be a feature called Creator KYC, where you just go through a simple KYC process. And the most basic level is email. Then there is mobile, and then there are more advanced levels like your address and things like that. We don't have any of that information. The KYC company has that, but what they report back to us is which level KYC you completed. So assuming you do the most basic level, which is email, you would get level 1. And so what you would do is you would get one creator credit. That's enough for you to list this one artwork. Obviously, you might have 100 artworks. So how are you going to get about doing that? Well, we're going to make it very easy for you based upon reputation. So as your reputation grows on Vitruvio, you are able to get more creator credits, and you can request creator credits. We'll have a web page set up anywhere, and you can say, "Hey, I'm, Jane, and I want to list my 10 artworks. I want creator credits," and someone will look at that. Someone will go look at your profile and say, "Oh, this is a real person. They are a real artist. Go ahead and give them the credits." It's that simple. So we don't want to create any barriers to creators, but what we want to do is make sure that we are not enabling scammers and ne'er-do-wells, to list artworks and all of that, because that's unhealthy for the whole ecosystem. It hurts everybody. So we are going to balance and make it super simple. We're going to give a bunch of these creator credits to different community organizations. So, different arts DAOs and groups like that, where they can also distribute it to their artists, etc. But overall, you need one free creator credit in order to activate your activate and consign your artwork on the network. And like I said, we're going to make it super easy for you to get it, super accessible. But we definitely don't want it to be a free-for-all where everyone's just minting whatever they want, etc. We want to create a great user experience for buyers where they find good artwork by great artists on there. And so that's why the creator credit system is going to be introduced. And guess what? This is a new platform. And remember, this is a blockchain for creators. It's your platform. We're going to be learning, right? We're going to be taking your input, and things that work, we build upon. Things that don't work, we toss. We are not profit motivated. Again, I have to emphasize that. We want to create a system that works for everybody, that's fair. And what you will hear shortly soon is that we're going to have a bunch of artists who are going to have voting rights in the DAO, who can vote and determine the future of this platform.
Yeah, I think, a lot of this, like, for instance, right now you need to be on the allow list to come into VTRU Studio. It has to do also with scalability. So we want to make sure that we're serving you well before we can open to more people. So a lot of the steps that we're taking today are not necessarily how we're going to move forward later, but they're all necessary for the vision that we have today, which is to protect our artists, make sure that collectors also feel secure to buy artwork from artists that they can trust. And I think trust is key to success here. So very excited with everything that we're offering. And yeah, that's where we're at with VTRU Studio. And I will send an email to everyone probably tomorrow. I've been drafting the email, haven't gotten to it, but I'm ready to give access to everyone that is on the Genesis list, because we have tested extensively with the first groups, and I am very happy with where we're at. So I am ready to have everyone onboarded. So yeah, coming soon.
Fantastic. So we are at 671 viewers, so that's a new record for us. All right, so I have two more topics to go over, and I'll be quick about it because we've been at this for a while. So what I want to do is first of all talk about VTRU Scope for Dreamers. So let me go ahead and get my screen on here. Give me a second. I'll do that. Here we go. All right. So I'm very pleased to report that as of this morning, 1,478 creators were airdropped Dreamer NFTs. So these are folks who previously were part of the Nifty Dreams Collective, which we've kind of evolved into Vitruvio. So if you had a Nifty Dreams Dreamer pass or multiple passes, they have been aggregated and combined into one, with the value being transferred, of course. So if you had 20 of them, the value of the 20 of them are combined into one. And so if you go to our application scope, I'm going to put the banner up here with the address so you can see it. So scope.vitruvio.xyz is where you need to go, and you need to connect a wallet that had a Dreamer pass in it as of this about 12 hours ago. So let's say if there was a wallet which had a Dreamer pass in it as of 12 hours ago, you would have been airdropped a pass. So let me just show you how to go about it. So remember, you are connecting to the Vitruvio blockchain. So just like you connect with Ethereum or Polygon, etc., this is a whole different blockchain, and so you would connect with it. And so the connect button here is going to assist you in that. I'm already set up, so I can connect easily. So I'm now connected, and when you go into VTRU Scope, you have a dashboard. It's a work in progress. It's going to have lots of data in the future, but this app is barely getting started. But the thing you want to look for is core NFTs. So if you go to core NFTs, if you are a Vitruvio early investor, you have this NFT called Nexus, right? But that's not what we're looking for. The Dreamers, you're going to have an NFT here called Dreamer. So if you had a Nifty Dreams pass, you're going to have a Dreamer a Dreamer NFT in your Vitruvio account. So you cannot be looking on Ethereum. It's an important distinction. Don't go looking for it on Ethereum. You have to be looking at your wallet on the Vitruvio blockchain. And so go to scope.vitruvio.xyz, connect your wallet, and look for it. So this Dreamer NFT is going to have what your Vitru grant was, how much of it is claimable. It's going to tell you. So here it tells me how much I've claimed, how much at which block it was granted, and what the vesting period is. So everyone's vesting period is going to be 12 months. That's the standard we have. And it tells you how much is going to vest every month. And what you're going to be able to do is come back here anytime. And when there are more Vitru available that are vested or rebased that are available for you to claim, this claim button will light up. And you can click on it and instantly get those Vitrus transferred into your wallet. So we are very excited to have that. The other thing is, this also tells you how many vote credits you have. So as a Dreamer NFT holder, you have the ability to vote in our DAO, and this tells you how many votes you have. So the more Dreamer passes you had, the more vote credits you have. The Nifty Dreams Dreamer passes are obsolete. You will have received a Dreamer NFT on Vitruvio, and that is the logical transition of it. We will soon, in a couple days, be burning all of those from people's accounts, so they're not confused by seeing those still on Ethereum. They have been redeemed, and you have been airdropped a Dreamer NFT. So that is the second NFT class of core NFTs. So we still have Validator, we have Benefactor, we have Steward, we have Trooper. These are the additional classes of core NFTs that are going to be airdropped in the coming days. We are moving as fast as we can, but we just want to double check and make sure everything is good. In terms of value, you will find that the Dreamer NFT has captured not only the value of your Dreamer Pass, but also any bonus tokens you were eligible for. And there was a ratio that was created based upon the market value of the Vitru NFT, and that's what you see here. So it's a great day for Dreamers, because you now are part of the Vitruvio family. We're really excited to have you. If you want, you can also go to explorer.vitruvio.xyz. Let me just go do that and show you. That's our scanner, our block scanner, and you can put in your address. So let me go actually and get my address here. So here's I'm going to copy my address. I'm going to go to Vitruvio scan, and you can go find your address, and you can look at all the transactions of your address on Vitruvio, and you can see that token was airdropped to you. So you can see token transfers and things like that happening on there. So that's scope for you. And last but not the least, I want to introduce everyone to our airdrop. So we just launched this yesterday, in fact. And if you go to airdrop.vitruvio.xyz, we'd love for you to participate in this airdrop. It is open to all, and it is an amazing airdrop. You can do some fundamental tasks like follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, etc. And I'll show you. Well, you need to connect the wallet. So let me just connect my wallet. So I previously connected here. So it's going to ask me to sign. All right, great. So what did I do here? Let me see 1 second. Oh, I'm on the wrong network. I'm on the wrong network. Sorry about that. There we go. Fixed it. All right. So you can follow us on X. You can join our server, and there's other tasks you can perform. And based upon that, we have a leaderboard, and you can earn points and get on that leaderboard and become eligible for an airdrop. That will and the airdrop has lots of different interesting and exciting tokens. We'll continue to add more. There's already 3 on here, 4 including VTRU. So if you wish to swap and get some VTRU, you can. The minimum buy is $25, and for $25 you can get 10 VTRU, and you can stake it. So you can stake it for 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 150 days, and 180 days. And at each one, you get a higher APR level. So let's start at 60. You see, you got an 18% APR. And if you go all the way to 180 days, you get a 50% APR. So this is a great way for you to get some bonus rewards and bonus VTRU. And as you can see, we've got lots of people constantly signing in and participating on here. But the leaderboard is key. You want to get more points by completing more tasks and get on the leaderboard. So that's airdrop.vitruvio.xyz. I encourage every creator that's out there to get on and to become part of the airdrop and earn the basic points. Costs you nothing. You should be on there because you will become eligible for the airdrop tokens that are to follow. So I think that was it for what we've got going on. There's a lot more coming from us. We will very soon be showing you VTRU Search, which is a completely new and exciting way to look at search in NFT-ART. We really have innovated there, and I'm really excited about it because when you see it, you will see right away how different it is. And once again, I just want to highlight that Vitruvio is a blockchain for creators. So we welcome artists, gamers, PFP creators, etc. Next week, we'll be launching our Honcho marketplace, where we already got a bunch of PFP projects lined up, and the creators there with their creativity and talent are gonna have some amazing NFT related projects for us. So everything is converging really well. We were building for a few months, but now all of the work we've been doing is coming to light. You can see it and experience it. I cannot wait for our 1,000 Genesis artists to be on board, to have their work show up in search, and have the booster holders with their collector credits go and collect them. So super excited about that. So we hit a milestone. We keep hitting milestones here, but now we are at 707
Wow.
on here. This is the highest it's been on any stream. So that's all due to you. People love you and are excited to have you come and talk. So thank you so much. All right, I think that is it for our long stream today. We went 2 hours today.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
That
But
is
if
a
anyone has any questions, please drop them in and we'll try and answer them. And if not, of course, we're going to see you online and other spaces, etc. But this is an amazing time for us. We are really excited to be having you and working with you, the creators. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks a lot. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.